Now, top of the show, we are going to bring you this exclusive report. In a big Times Network exclusive, a major lapse has been uncovered in aviation security. Former chief of HAL, that is the Hindustan Aeronautical Limited, gets a special pass that could be seen as a violation of airport security rules. After retirement, RK Tyagi became the chief of a private society called the Aeronautical Society of India. He was issued a highly restricted and sensitive BCAS all-airport, all-terminal pass in 2019. His tenure as the chief ended in 2020, but his pass from the Bureau of Civil Aviation remained valid till December this year. The influential aviation honcho continues to use the benefits of the pass and in yet another breach of rules has failed to surrender the pass as mandated by law. The Bureau of Civil Aviation denies any lapse at its end, despite not being aware that Tyagi has stepped down, and says the onus is on Tyagi to surrender the pass.
Because he was a member of a private body.
Which private body?
Aeronautical Society of India. And being a member of that, he got hold of that.
ये आपको किसने बोल दिया कि member of private body को नहीं दिया जाता है?
So I'm sure private body को दिया जाता है and a lot of people go inside the airport, but can he get that?
I'm telling you. No,
yeah.
You can note it down.
Yes, sir.
When this AP was issued in 19 December 2019.
Yes.
This was issued for 3 years on the recommendation of Ministry of Civil Aviation.
All right.
Okay. And this issuance of AP was granted to him. At that time, he was president of Aeronautical Society of India.
Yes.
And independent director as board of director of Air India also.
All right.
So you were listening to my colleague Akansha Tyagi. She is with us live now. She confronted the ex-ASI president over the major security lapse. Akansha, we heard Mr. Tyagi say that BCAS should be asked as to why the pass was issued. He says that, he is not guilty of any trespassing, so to speak, because this was a legitimate pass that is valid till the end of the year.
Well, absolutely, and it was a huge security lapse. Times Network spoke to former chairman of HAL, RK Tyagi, who told us that he applied for this highly restrictive, highly sensitive pass as a president of Aeronautical Society of India because the organization thought it was necessary because of the sort of job that they do for the country. It was important in the interest of the country is what he told Times Network. He said that he applied for the pass and BCAS granted it after duly considering it. He said that there was no security lapse, no violation of any law. He's a faithful citizen of the country, and if anything bad were to happen, that he would be responsible. At the end, he asked us to speak to BCAS and also try to know if actually he committed any crime. Times Network also spoke to the BCAS sources who told us that he was given pass as a president of Aeronautical Society of India, but in 2020, in fact, he ceased to be the president of Aeronautical Society of India, and that is when he should have returned the pass, but he did not. They went on to say that if a person commits any crime, any illegal activity, criminal activity, then the onus lies on them and not on BCAS. If it is found that the power was misused by the former HAL chairman, then either the highly restricted pass would be withdrawn or action would be taken. But the fact remains is that pass is still valid till December 19, 2022, and this is in fact a major security lapse.
So basically, Akansha, you're saying that till the time we reported this, BCAS says that we didn't know that here is a person who was actually not authorized to get this kind of access. Thanks Akansha for joining us. I have Madhav joining us as well. Madhav, as someone who reports on aviation very closely and is well versed with these matters, if you can explain to our viewers, why are we saying this is a security breach? Because from what I understand, this gives unbridled access to Mr. RK Singh to practically all airport terminals.
Well, yes, Mr. RK Tyagi is a very influential person. He has been the former chief of Pawan Hans and he's also been the chief of HAL. Now, Given the kind of positions of power that he has enjoyed, the question that then arises is that what is the service to the nation that he is talking about, which the Aeronautical Society of India does? Yes, it is a fact that beyond airlines, what we see is a highly restricted pass that we're talking about, where even the security hold, where the immigration gates, the boarding gates, all of these areas access has been given to. In such a situation, the question arises is what is the service to the nation? Was, for instance, some study commissioned? There is no detail on that coming in yet from Mr. Tyagi or the BCAS as to why that pass was granted in the first place. And if it was granted with justifiable reasons, what is the reason that after he stepped out from that position in 2020, we're talking about 2 years ago, why was that pass still continuing? That's a very, very important and a very basic question that even the BCAS does not seem to have answers for. Akanksha has spoken to sources in the Bureau of Civil Aviation Security who have said that they are still not aware that he has stepped down as president, whereas the airport entry pass very specifically mentions that that pass has to be returned once one steps down from that particular organization in whose name the pass is being issued. So this is a very, very serious lapse to that extent. Is it a fact that a person who has in fact got this pass, also the process of certification, the reasons given, have they been properly vetted? Was there actually a committee that approved it? All of these are some serious questions that arise from this entire issue, and certainly, of course, we will have to see with the response coming in from the stakeholders, including the BCAS and also perhaps the Ministry of Civil Aviation would be from here on, given the nature of this massive violation.
Madhav, this is a big expose, and we are asking some important questions which you are mentioning here. Why was BCAS unaware of this? And if this is a breach of security, then like you mentioned, Civil Aviation Ministry will have to answer for it. Thanks for joining us, Madhav, with the important inputs on the story. Okay, I'm in fact now joined by an expert here on the program, Mr. Atul Singh, Civil Aviation Expert. Joins us on the program, and I also have Commodore B.S. Sivaj, Aviation Safety Expert and DG Aviation Safety Management Society. Very good evening, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us on the program. You heard my colleagues. We are raising some important questions here. This is, after all, a matter of aviation security. What is the kind of access that a person of the level of RK Tyagi should enjoy? He is only a member of the Aeronautical Society of India, not heading it anymore. He says that even as a member, he is entitled to this pass and he is a faithful citizen. There is no breach. Mr. Singh?
Yes, what I understand that there are three aspects of this entire episode. First, let me tell you very clearly one by one. First, primarily it was the responsibility of BCAS to monitor the status of any person who has been given the airport entry pass, whether he might be the chairman or the member. Okay, fine. Second is the Office of Aeronautical Society of India, the office of the then president, Mr. Tyagi. It was also their responsibility to communicate the matter to BCAS people that, look, gentlemen, our president or the chairman, now he has ceased to become the president. So now we are surrendering the passes which was issued on his name. Okay, this is the second aspect. Third thing, what I understand, there might be a case of miscommunication between these two offices, the office of Mr. Tyagi and the office of BCAS. So altogether, these are the three operative things which may be, prevalent over there. But after finishing this, one thing I want to tell you, with the BCAS, things are not in order. Passes are definitely issued on the basis of influences and management. This is a very wrong thing, because anybody who has got access inside the airside area has got a very clear mandate. Only those people are allowed to enter the operational area who have got direct operational connection with the operations taking place over there. It cannot be narrated, or interpretation cannot be given on this basis that I was moving inside the airside area on the name of national interest.
So are you saying, Mr. Singh, and I would like Air Commodore B.S. Sivaj also to come in, are you saying that a private individual has been given this access, this privilege, which of course, is completely against the rule, Air Commodore Sivaj?
Afrida, thank you very much for inviting me. Now, I think Mr. Tyagi is a highly reputed and renowned aviation professional. He has been the CMD Pawan Hans. He has been the chairman HAL. Thereafter, he has been the president of Aeronautical Society of India, which is again a very reputed organization. And it is working toward professional excellence and definitely requires interaction with stakeholders, with airline, private operators, general aviation operators, aerodromes, air traffic control. So toward that extent, issue of pass to Mr. Tyagi was absolutely in order. And mere fact that he is a highly respected and very patriotic and known good citizen of this country, and nothing has been reported or ever occurred against him. So issuing him in a pass is not a wrong thing. Definitely,
No, we are not saying. We are saying that whether it was, done in accordance with rules or not. There are certain protocols which have to be followed. As the president of the Aeronautical Society, he was entitled to this privilege. As soon as he steps down from this position, he was supposed to surrender that pass. Now, who will ensure? So, is there no system in place? Like you heard Mr. Singh say, there seems to be no communication somewhere. Things have fallen through the cracks and the gentleman continues to enjoy privileges which he should not be getting as a member of Aeronautical Society, since only the president is entitled to it. Commodore
You see, as a very senior member of the society and past president, and since he has been issued a pass, he has been very active. As I told you, in interacting with various airlines.
No, we are not doubting his credentials, sir. We are not questioning his credentials.
I'm also not. I
yes,
agree with
we are only saying that was this extended beyond its due date? That is the only issue here. And
yes,
if so, then it's a breach of security.
There might have been some kind of communication gap or error in not rendering the pass after he had demitted the office of president. But he still continued. If he was not part of the Aeronautical Society of India, then we could have understood that you are not part and you are just a private citizen and you are not entitled. But he continued to be on the rolls of Aeronautical Society of India and doing a good work for promotion of aviation and aviation safety in the country. So I see there is no breach of any security or as such. You can't treat him like a normal, these gangster or ruffians or, unsocial elements or something like that.
Yes, we do understand that. We do understand. But, Atul Singh, again, you were raising this point about the kind of access this gives you. If you can elaborate on that point, that why you feel that this kind of access to the sensitive areas may not, is a privilege, is an exclusive privilege of a few authorized individuals. Now, why exactly are we concerned that Mr. Tyagi has that privilege?
This is a straightaway confrontation.
No, let Mr. Singh answer, please. Yeah.
Okay.
This is a straightaway confrontation between the set rules, the rules which have been laid down for the airside or the airport security, and the rules of influential people. It's a conflict between these two set of rules. But overall, on the national interest, for the interest of the aviation security ecosystem, entire ecosystem, the rules need to be enforced properly, very strictly, without considering the influences of any person or individual connected with the world of civil aviation. Fine. I understand the reputation and the kind of stature Mr. Tyagi has got in this entire scheme of things, but that does not mean that any person of this stature will violate the law. See, if you are holding an important position, definitely your first mandate should be to honor the rules and regulations. In a larger context, in a very holistic way, you have to see the things, and particularly a matter or a thing related to aviation security happen to be very, very important in the current situation. So in that way, I think first of all,
who are you holding culpable? Who are you holding guilty? Quick last word. Is it BCAS or is it Mr. Tyagi? Who should have surrendered the pass?
This is the absolute responsibility of Bureau of Civil Aviation Security. I don't hold Mr. Tyagi responsible. See,
Commodore Sivach, do you hold BCAS responsible or Mr. Tyagi for this lapse?
BCAS is the organization who has got the clear mandate, authority to see each and everything pertaining to aviation security.
Okay, absolutely. Well, all the points taken. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. Completely out of time, and really appreciate your views on the subject. This is an important issue. After all, it is with regards to aviation security. We have seen enough and more incidents, untoward incidents happening in the aviation sector. This, of course, is something that has gone out of line when it comes to violating rules. An individual who did or should not have access have got access to certain sensitive areas in airport terminals, and that is the question we are raising here. Who should be held responsible? Thanks very much for joining us.